Hello everyone and welcome to Rocket League Sinfonian series. I am your host Randomize, and with me I have a new commentator above me in Riley, and at the top right corner is our one and only Beard Runner. How you guys doing today?
Oh, doing just great. How are you, Random?
Good. I'm hyped. I'm pumped. We got Mysticats versus Ditto dudes today. So I'm obviously a Mysticat. I gotta get ready for this game. I've only had a little bit to warm up, so this should be a little interesting for me. But yeah, I'm very excited for this. I hope everyone has enjoyed the new screen that was showing off at the beginning. Pretty neat little thing I'm working with. I might be talking to this company about working with us, and they have provided me with that awesome TV thing. So I hope you all enjoyed that little intro. So today will be Mysticats versus DD. Make sure to vote either DD or Mysticats. Spell out the whole Mysticats on who you think is going to win tonight while these guys talk about everything that you want to hear, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to get out of here, folks, and pass it on to you guys.
Absolutely. Thanks, Random. All right. So as we get into tonight's game, hope everyone's been enjoying watching some RLCS maybe throughout the day, throughout the weekend. It's been getting me hyped for more Rocket League, as it always does. Riley, how are you feeling, man?
I'm good. I'm feeling good.
Yeah,
I think we're gonna have a good game tonight.
Absolutely, yeah. These are two teams that I really like watching play. Random and Fox actually were like two of the guys who, when I first joined this group, were kind of like the guys to go to and guys that I played with a lot. So I'm kind of familiar with their play styles a little bit, and I always love watching their games. Before we get into any like predictions or anything like that, we'll just kind of go through a little bit of a summary of the stats and like what we kind of think about each team. So first off, we'll talk about Ditto dudes. So as I mentioned, they've got Fox McCumulus. And Fox is a very, very well-rounded player. He's not like a hard carry or anything, but on his team, he doesn't need to be, because he's got Cat to back him up, and Cat is also very well-rounded. And then he's got Squall backing him up, and I've seen Squall pull out some really good plays as well. So actually, I think we are going to go ahead and talk about stats. I'll give a summary of Mysticats real quick too. We got Randomized and Colonel Mustard, who work together very, very well, getting the ball upfield, getting big clears and passing to each other. And we've got Nola Nova, who plays pretty defensively, but as of late, he's actually been a little bit more aggressive as well. Onto the stats sheet. We'll see if we can get that pulled up. Yes, it is there. So what do you think about these stats, Riley? I want to hear what you think first.
I watched a scrim between these two, I think 2 weeks ago, where it was pretty evenly matched. They were all good on their rotations and just on fire. Rapid succession goals, rapid succession rotations, and everything.
Yeah. That's what we like to see.
Keeping with the theme of this week of upsets, rest in peace to everyone's brackets with Virginia. I think the number 4 Mysticats might be able to topple the number 2 Ditto dudes.
Yeah, and I mean, as we look at the stats, it kind of reflects how close these two teams are to each other.
Number 3.
Mysticats is actually number 3. But we actually see that Ditto dudes have a 63% win ratio, whereas Mysticats have a 69% win ratio. But Ditto dudes have played a few more games. Both teams can be very aggressive. They've got about the same number of goals per game. One thing I've noticed is that Ditto dudes has a lot more saves per game, but they also get scored on more per game on average. Yeah. So what that tells me is that Ditto dudes let the ball come to their side, and they can clear it away from their net. They can save the ball when they're being shot on. Whereas Mysticats, they stop the ball at midfield before they can get credit for a save or for a clear. And that prevents the opposing team from even taking any shots on their goal. So that's why we see that. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I think Ditto dudes are definitely going to have to try to match that pressure at midfield. Otherwise, they'll have to get big clears away from their goal and already have someone waiting up midfield to contest Mysticats to make sure that it's not an easy return at midfield. And at the same rate, Mysticats are going to have to make sure that they're making really good, solid passing plays to get past Ditto Dude's defense in their box and goal.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I think a lot of it might come down to how the bottom tier players play because they are such close teams. It's going to depend on how the bottom tier players, the Nolan's Beard and Squall, how they're doing. If one of them is popping off and the other's not, I think that could easily make the difference in these 3 games.
Though, having played with Fox and Random before in separate games, I think Fox might be just a little bit better at picking up the slack when there's a teammate there. But Random is not far behind. He can definitely. He's carried me a couple times through.
Yeah. I mean, they're both really solid team players, and they're both really solid leaders too. Mysticats, as always, is really good at reading the other team and kind of adjusting their play. If they don't do so well the first game, they readjust, reevaluate, and fix what they're doing wrong, and then they can come out with a win after that. So, with all that said, everyone in chat, make sure you're typing either DD for Ditto Dudes or Mysticats to vote for them. And after Riley and I give our predictions, then we will pull up chat's predictions. And we'll have some fun with that. I don't know if those have ever really lined up with what the commentators have predicted, which is always interesting to see then what actually happens when the games are played. So my prediction, like we both said, it's going to be super, super close. These are both really good teams. You said that Fox is a little bit better of a carry for his team. However, when Mysticats are really on fire, when they're good and warmed up, they just work so well as a team, and they have such good chemistry and good communication as well. I think that's going to make the difference here, and I think Mysticats are going to come out with the overall match victory. But I do think that DD is going to take a win from Mysticats, and I have no idea if that's going to be the first or the second game, but we'll see how that plays out. What do you think, Riley?
Honestly, I think DD is going to take it in the third. It's going to go 1-1, and it's going to come down possibly to the last few seconds between DD and Mysticats.
All right, making the specific calls here. That'll be. I hope it goes right for you because that would be epic.
And it all depends on if anyone gets tilted, because once you get tilted, your reflex is slow, and you might play a bit more aggressive, or you need to play more defensive.
Oh yeah,
but
you get too far into your own head.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna take a look at chat's predictions. Right now, it's looking like Mysticats at 75% of the chat vote, and Ditto Dudes at 25%. So if you haven't voted yet, make sure you get your vote in. That'll keep updating until the match starts. And there we have it. Mysticats now are at 60 with DD at 40. And it just evened out to 50, and now it's going the other way. So I think this is going to be a good reflection of how these matches are actually going to go. Just kind of like back and forth either way. I don't know if it's ever going to settle. We're never going to have a moment of, okay, this team's definitely going to take this match. It's never going to be that simple for us, I think, tonight.
We'll definitely have our work cut out for us.
Oh, yeah. And I am going to join this party so that I can spectate. And I'm going to invite Riley. Riley, I believe I have you on Steam.
Yes, you should.
Are you on Rocket League right now?
Random, you have me on this account.
He doesn't have you on the Find Me Alpha account.
Oh, yeah, that's true. No, we don't have each other.
Okay, let me add you real quick.
Yeah.
Bear with us, chat. We should have thought about this sooner. All right. What's your Steam name?
Professor Plum.
Gotcha. You are added.
There we go.
And I will invite you to this group. Nice. All right. Took us a moment, but it looks like Random is getting this game set up for us. Looks like we might be waiting on one person to get back before we actually start the game. But I think we are going to go ahead and create the room. All right. So you gave a really specific prediction. You said you think it's going to come down to the last few seconds in the last game. There were a few matches like that today in RLCS, I think, and they were all like, I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. Those are the best games to watch. So I do hope it comes down to those last few seconds in the last game, because everyone loves watching those types of matches.
Me too. Me too. And if not the last few seconds, it's going to go into overtime.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The last moment possible would be excellent. And honestly, that's always like the best win. Like, it's the best feeling if you win, and it's the worst feeling if you lose in overtime in the last game. So that's when you see everyone start trying so hard. Everyone just goes into try hard mode, and everyone's going for shots that they normally wouldn't. So the game just entirely changes, which is, like I said, is super fun to watch. Now I'm looking forward to seeing the passes between Colonel Mustard and Randomize, because you never know which one of them is going to take that final shot, because they both go upfield together. They pass it back and forth. One of them usually hits it into the corner. The other one's waiting right in front of the other team's goal to take that shot. And if that person misses, that's normally the point when Nolan's beard starts driving upfield, and sometimes he can finish off those balls that are hanging right in front of the other team's net.
It's all going to come down to defense as well. I mean, if someone pushes forward too far, leaves an open net, both teams could easily capitalize on that.
Oh yeah, these teams are going to have their rotations on lockdown, both defensively and offensively. If one team isn't putting enough pressure on the other team, I think both of these teams are good enough defensively that they'll be able to clear the ball pretty easily. And if that's the case, then we might see the ball just hanging out in midfield a lot this game. But I do hope we see one team or another break away a little better, or both teams, really.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like we're going to have to wait just a little longer.
And an update on the chat predictions, it is 50-50.
Exactly 50-50. So for once, chat actually does pretty well agree with us.
Yeah.
Thanks, chat. You trust us. Actually, I haven't voted. Have you?
I did earlier, a couple minutes ago.
Oh, okay. Well, let me disrupt this balance. Can I spell Mysticats correctly? Is that how you spell Mysticats? I'm sticking with it. If it counts, it counts. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Izzy says they're preventing the curse, the streamer's curse.
Ooh,
Yes.
Dan's prediction is pretty close to mine. Fox scoring 13 seconds left in the third round.
13 seconds left. All right. He didn't say what the score was, though. He could score with 13 seconds left, and they could be up by 3, or they could be down by 3.
That's true. Dan, if they win and that happens, I will give you $1.
Yeah, what's your Venmo, Dan?
Hedging my
Nice.
bets.
Okay, it sounds like there's a little bit of an emergency that's causing a delay right now. We'll keep y'all updated as we get more news about that. For right now, we can go ahead and talk a little bit more about stats. So I've got the full stat spreadsheet up in front of me. So for Mysticats, we actually see that Randomize and Colonel Mustard, they're within 1 goal of each other. Colonel Mustard has 1 more goal than Randomize, and that's kind of what I'm talking about with them working so well, having good chemistry, working upfield.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, it looks like, yeah, Ditto Dudes are in now. Awesome.
All right.
So, if you were listening, waiting for us to let you know, that is your sign.
Here
We're going to get this game going. Ditto Dudes versus Mysticats, game 1. I don't know what round this is. Round 8. It says it right on the stream. I'm a genius. All right. And we are off with game 1. Pretty neutral face-off. Random's going to go straight up for that one. Hit it over to Ditto Dude's side. Cat just gets a piece of it to mess Randomize up. And Cat's going to keep with it. Kind of going for an overambitious aerial there. He didn't quite know what to do with it. And Fox trying to go for a shot. There were 2 members of Mysticats in his way. Colonel Mustard needs to get back to save this, but it is an open goal by Mysticats. And Cat ends up scoring on them.
And that's exactly what I was saying. Open net. I realized they were going to get boost, but they should have left someone there just to make sure they could challenge.
Exactly. You had 2 members of Mysticats going for boost at the same time. That's when you need callouts. You have the quick chat available to you. You have comms. You've got to let each other know when you're going for boost so that the other person can get in goal, whether they have boost or not, because 1 defender with no boost is better than 0 defenders. And now we have Mysticats pushing up onto Ditto Dude's side. Colonel Mustard hitting it up into the corner. No one's beard got demoed, so they had no one on Mysticats to go for that ball. Colonel Mustard looks like he has an open shot, but he gets challenged by Squall. He took too long to get there. No boost. Fox hitting it into Mysticats' corner, and Nolan trying to go for it. Can't get contact. Random also failing to hit the ball. Fox is bumping opponents out of the way as he makes his way back. He's going to try to pass this. Could have maybe gone for the shot, and I think that's what he was trying to do. He didn't have a teammate there for him to make the pass, so he had to go for the shot. Mysticats are finally getting this in Ditto Dude's goal box, but they could not capitalize on it. Cat is going to go up for another pass on Mysticats' back wall, but they're going to clear that away. Random going for this one. It's a little higher than he was expecting. He hit it off the wall, but it's a little bit centered for Ditto Dudes. Colonel Mustard stayed in the goal, though, for that save. Randomized hitting it off the wall for one of his teammates. Colonel Mustard following up. See if Colonel Mustard can get another pass, but he cannot. Cat got in the way, and Randomized goes sailing by. Fox hitting it up against Mysticat's backboard. Tries to go for the double touch, but jumped too late. And this one's going back to Ditto Dude's side. Colonel Mustard with a pass off the backboard. Nice pass. 2 members of Mysticats there with a boom, and they were not able to score. They both went past the ball. You hate to see that. It was a beautiful setup by Colonel Mustard, too. We have Squall getting back. Wasn't able to grab Mysticat's boost. Colonel Mustard up for the aerial. Almost gets the double touch with no one to challenge him. Mysticats have gotten so close to scoring a couple times now, but just have not had luck on their side to put it in Ditto Dude's goal. Colonel Mustard's waiting for this one to drop. He's going to catch it. Almost puts another one in, but Cat was just in his way. Nolan's beard is trying to follow this around, but he needs to get back on defense. Colonel Mustard playing defense, but Cat dunks him, and that one's going in goal too. And Cat is giving Mysticats a hard time right now.
Again, rotations were just off. I mean, someone way off the side.
Yeah, I think Nolan's beard stayed up a little longer than he should have. Colonel Mustard maybe could have challenged that a little sooner, but that's always tough when you're driving away from the opponent as they're driving the ball toward your goal. Kind of have to make a tough decision there. Randomize is going to try to pop this all the way over to Ditto Dude's side. Cat gets a nice clear from in front of their goal. And that's what we were talking about with those stat sheets, with Ditto Dudes being able to clear the ball away from their goal once it gets there. Whereas Mysticats try to prevent the ball from getting there in the first place. Mysticats just have not been on top of their defensive rotations so far this match. And we are at 2-0 with Ditto Dudes in the lead with 1 minute and 45 seconds left in game 1. Mysticats are really going to have to change the way they're playing right now. They need to be more offensive, I think. They're not putting enough pressure on Ditto Dudes. Ditto Dudes will make enough mistakes that if there's enough pressure on their goal, Mysticats will be able to capitalize on it. No one getting in the way of that one for Randomize is clear. The last man back for Ditto Dudes, Squall, was able to get the block. Prevent Mysticats from scoring. Fox getting a big save from above the goal. Lots of bumping going on for Mysticats right now. They're really going to have to communicate better. They got an open goal to score on right now, though, and Colonel Mustard is going to take advantage of that. Not sure where Ditto Dudes were. Looks like a double commit as they were on Mysticats' side, and that made it really easy for Colonel Mustard to just put this one in goal.
That was good on Colonel Mustard. A good read, good shot, everything.
Yeah, really good positioning. He was already driving up field, ready for that clear. And since two members of Ditto Dudes went for it, he was able to get that real easily. Randomize putting another one upfield, and then puts it in on his own. Here is the close game that we were looking forward to, folks.
Exact same problem. They were all grouped up too far.
They were all bunched up. That's exactly right. No one was able to get there. No one was expecting Randomize to get that so easily. They thought it was going to be challenged. Less than a minute left, and Mysticats have tied it up in a matter of, I think, like 10 seconds. Good for them. And we got Nolan's beard going for that one. Nolan out of nowhere. Nice pop-up by Colonel Mustard here. I love those passes when you just pop it straight up for a teammate that's coming up behind you. Little bit of peekaboo action is what I like to call it. All right, and now it is Ditto Dudes who need to be on the offensive right now, just to force this game into overtime. They thought they were sitting pretty there at that 2-0 lead, but Mysticats said, we were just warming up. Ball staying on Mysticats' side now. Nolan with a clear into the corner. Doesn't get it far enough away, though. Fox is going to stay on the offensive here. He's going to go for a pass. Does he have a teammate ready for it? He would have if they did not get boomed. Random booming Squall there. Random going for an aerial. Not sure what he's trying to do here. Thought he could get to it to stop the momentum. Oh! Random. Or was it Colonel Mustard with another shot? But Ditto Dudes were just able to keep it out of their goal. Cat going for the shot here. Random's going to keep it out of the way. Clears it off to the side. Random again pushing it out further away with the clear. And that is going to be game one for Mysticats. They just turned it around in like the last minute there. Excellent.
DD really slowed down there.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Ditto Dudes just couldn't keep the pressure up, and Mysticats really turned theirs up, so they kind of like switched it up there at mid-game. Really good scoreboards on either side. You know, Ditto Dudes, every goal that they had was assisted. Fox passing to Cat. And almost every goal on Mysticats was assisted as well. Again, we have Ditto Dudes with more saves than Mysticats, but Mysticats had, I think, 3 more shots on Ditto Dude's goal than Ditto Dudes did have on Mysticats' goal.
There was a few errors that easily could have prevented a couple of these goals.
Yeah, absolutely.
But at the same time, it's been a good game.
Yeah.
It's been a good match. I mean, Ditto Dudes gonna have to pull up their Ditto Dudes gonna have to shore up their defense this time to fight back against Random and Colonel Mustard's what is that?
Wrath.
Yeah, there.
Not to discount Nolan's beard though. Nolan came out of nowhere with that shot.
Oh
that
yeah.
gave Mysticats a goal. Easily made the difference in that game.
But at the same time, he can play more support.
Yeah, I like when teams have that third person back. That third person who's kind of the support. Randomize keeping that one away from his goal. Getting the backwards save. Nolan trying to read this in the corner, but Randomize saves him. He pushes it out. Fox keeping that one on Mysticat's side. Colonel Mustard popping that one up. Can he get another touch? He can. That goes into Ditto Dude's corner. No one on Mysticats to back him up right now, and Cat's going to get a clear off to the side, and Squall's following that up. Can only get one hit before Randomize hits it back to Ditto Dude's side. And here's that mid-game play that I was talking about. By both sides right now. This ball is spending a lot of time in the middle of the field as both teams are getting good clears, and then they're clearing each other's clears, and it's just back and forth. Stays right there in the middle the whole time. We're just going to have to wait for someone to get a big enough clear and for them to have a teammate waiting for it. Fox tries to bring that one back to his teammates, but no one comes up for it. But Mysticats ends up bringing someone to take it. Almost gets a shot on goal. Just wide for Random. Colonel Mustard getting the big clear here. All 3 players of Mysticats are upfield. Colonel Mustard's back far enough that he can get that one back onto Ditto Dude's side. Cat's in the corner getting this ball situated, trying to slow it down some, but he is still getting pressured by Randomize. Randomize sitting under the ball. Should have let his teammate go for that one while he gets back for boost. And now Fox is taking this one upfield. Returned again by Randomize. Random keeping so much pressure on Ditto Dudes just by himself this game, it seems like. And Colonel Mustard and no one going for that one. Almost an own goal by Fox, but that will set it up for Colonel Mustard to get the goal. I didn't actually even see what happened here for Fox.
I
don't know.
The ball came off wrong.
Yeah, I don't know if he had to go for that first hit at all, because it was going into their corner, so that it might have been better off to just let the ball go into their corner and they could get a little bit of a reset there. But that's going to be goal 1 for Mysticats in game 2 against Ditto Dudes. Almost another goal by Random. Just goes wide. Cat driving upfield. Has pressure from Random. Colonel Mustard's going to try to clear this off their back wall. Ball spending a lot of time in front of Mysticats' goal, but no one on Ditto Dudes is putting enough pressure on. Cat accidentally puts that back toward their own goal. There's too much confusion on Ditto Dude's side right now. I appreciate Ditto Dudes trying to go for the ball quickly, but they're playing so fast that they're not able to make good decisions right now. They're going for balls that they don't need to go for, and it's putting them in really difficult situations.
Again, it seems lack of communication. I've seen them cut each other off several times going for boost.
All right, and we have some challenges at midfield. It ends up going to Ditto Dude's side. That one's right up in the middle and center. Fox is going to just bump it down lightly. Has no teammates up to follow up on that. Ditto Dudes really need to make sure they do a better job of having one team member forward.
Ooh!
But why even do that when you can get big boomer clears like that? Beautiful
Sniper
clear by
certified.
Fox going straight into the goal. Sniper certified? I like that.
But there we go. I mean, they pulled it together that time and probably made their call outs. We can't hear their comms, but
Yeah, and that just goes to show you they can let Mysticats play as offensively as they want, as long as they keep getting clears and keep getting saves, and then get one big clear that goes over every member of Mysticats. If Mysticats all push up at the same time, it's going to be real easy for Ditto Dudes to get a big clear and make a goal out of it.
yeah, with teams like this, it's all about
Randomize with a
situational
nice
awareness.
pass. And now Ditto Dudes have another open goal, but they're not in a good enough position to put a shot on. Randomize gets himself in goal to clear that one out. Fox trying to keep it on Mysticat's side, puts it up on the side wall, and he's gonna follow it up too with a shot. Gets blocked. This one's up in the air, going to Ditto Dude's side. Cat needs to get in the way of that, but he's not going to, and Colonel tries to put one in. Goes to Randomize, who also tries to get it in. No one somehow gets the last touch off the crossbar. And that just barely breezes into Ditto Dude's goal. Actually, it was Cat being the one to put it in.
I mean, the Cat
Needed to be a little more behind that.
just a bit of a better angle.
Yeah. It was a good effort on Ditto Dude's side. But now they only have a minute and a half to score 2 goals to put this into overtime.
I mean,
And Mysticats just keeping that pressure up. Here we see Mysticats getting a big clear, and Ditto Dude's not doing a good enough job of putting pressure on. They had their low-tier team member being third man back, and he just couldn't get the hit that he needed to keep it away from Randomize.
and it seems like they pushed up a bit too far. I think they should have let the ball come to them and gone for a giant boot clear
Yeah.
instead of trying to get the ball back over the other side immediately.
Absolutely. You have to play as if the other team is going to get a big hit that they need every time. And Cat with a nice scoop there, putting that right over the defender. Good pass by Squall here. And then Cat gets this angle. I didn't think he could get that, but that goes right in the top corner. Beautiful shot by Cat. And And that's going to bring Ditto Dudes a little bit closer to overtime. They still need to score 2 more goals in the next minute and 10 seconds. Fox with a nice, advantageous face-off. Colonel Mustard's going to return that, though. Squall with a shot on goal. It's a little high. He's getting bumped, and Business Cat is there to do business and back him up.
Are we going to see another 10-second comeback just like last game?
I have no idea. I'm shaking right now. This is great. I'm shaking for Mysticats because if they throw in game 2, that could be really detrimental to their mental game going into game 3, especially when they were up by so much.
But that
them
being up by so much might also be to their detriment.
Yeah. And Mysticats just trying their hardest to keep this on Ditto Dude's side as much as they can, not even giving them opportunities to hit the ball upfield. But again, we see Random and Colonel Mustard going back for boost at the same exact time. But Random was able to get to it. Nolan trying to keep the ball up on the wall. Cat clearing it out to the middle for Fox. Fox was too far away, and Colonel Mustard gets there before him and is able to put another one in goal. Mysticats are really trying to secure this lead. Ditto Dudes, it is possible. We've seen them score a couple already when they were down by 2. If they do it again, they could take this into overtime. Fox with that same face-off going on to Mysticats' side wall. Cat following this up into the corner, and Randomize is going to go for the wall clear. Doesn't get a solid clear. Squall's following that up, and Fox is going to hit that down in the corner. It hits Squall again. Do they have a third man to take the shot? They do not. Cat was staying back. At this point, you need to pull the goalie. You need to be going for shots and shots alone. With 8 seconds left, it looks like game 2 is also going to go to Mysticats for a 2-game sweep against Ditto Dudes.
Sorry, Ditto Dudes. I was rooting for you.
You got the Riley curse this time around.
But it was great plays by great teams. They could absolutely. There were some things they could have done differently on defense on both ways, but all in all, Mysticats really showed up this time. 4 with 2 goals from Colonel, 2 from Random, 1 from Nolan, and 3 of those goals assisted.
Yeah, really just good overall team participation on Mysticats' side. They really figured out what they were doing against Ditto Dudes about 3 minutes into the first game. It took them a little bit to settle into it, but once they did, they just carried that momentum into game 2.
But
really well done.
Discount Ditto Dudes. I mean, all 3 of theirs.
Yeah, and there again, we have like really good passing plays by Ditto Dudes. It just ended up being them not being able to keep up with Mysticats' midfield pressure. I think that was the biggest thing.
And then Colonel with 3 saves and Mysticats in total having 4, but Ditto Dudes only having 1.
Yeah.
This game came down to defense. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Absolutely. Let's see. Who should we get in here for an interview? Do you want to try to get Nova in here? Nolan?
That works for me.
All right. I don't know if I have him, but I think Random can probably get him in here for us. There he is. Are you in here, Nolan? Nolan! Ah, there he is.
Oh gosh. Hello.
There's that lovely sound.
Hello.
That How's it going,
This
Nolan?
awkward moment when my girlfriend knocked over my webcam earlier today. I didn't expect this. I'm sorry.
You
Hello.
look good, man. You look good from any angle.
Oh, baby. It's the beard, isn't it?
Yeah, just crouch down a little bit.
I'm trying.
You
I'm really
definitely
trying.
looked good in that game. I will tell
There
you
you go.
that.
Yeah,
Oh,
man. Really good
Thanks,
showing in
Riley.
both games. I mean, you guys just were on fire. You had really good team chemistry. You had that one shot in game 1 where you just snuck up behind, I think it was Colonel Mustard who popped the ball up, and you were there to take that. Was that communicated? Was he saying like, hey, I'm going to pop this up? Like, were you ready for it?
So contract requirements make me say yes. No, actually, that was not particularly communicated, and it honestly, it as much as it worked out, it was what you call one of the. It's what you would say was a fake, when it really wasn't a
yeah.
fake. It just happened to work as a fake.
The ability to improvise on the spot is definitely a merit to you. I mean, that was a really good play. in general. So what do you think Mysticats did that led to Ditto Dudes not really being able to keep the pressure up in that second game?
I mean, I think one of the biggest things that we've always kind of had is we really have a great chemistry. And I think a lot of that comes from the fact that Random has definitely put a lot of time into making Mustard and I better as players, and spent a lot of time in training, a lot of time kind of instructing us, and it's just one of those things that like that relationship we have. We just know how to read each other really well at this point when it comes to the rotations. Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. We want because we don't, unfortunately, with our schedules, we don't get a lot of time to necessarily practice together as a team. And so, when we take full advantage of the times we do get to, but it's just kind of one of those things that we know what to expect from each other.
Yeah, well, and even if you can't practice together all the time, I mean, it is always good to just practice on your own or with other people in the Discord. There's always people online to figure out someone to team up with.
That's what training packs are made for.
Yeah. Yeah, training packs are great. So how are you feeling then going into the next round? Who are you all playing next week? I guess that would have been a good thing to look at. I think you all are playing TEO.
And that is tomorrow, correct?
Oh, wow. The twofer.
Yeah.
2 in a row. Do you think you are going to be able to keep up this momentum against TEO?
I definitely think so. Random.
Random's not here.
Random's not here. I'm so used to him being here for everything. It's just I just got to default to him.
Look at me. Yeah. I am random now.
I am random. But you've also got to take into account this isn't the same TEO you've played before.
It's TEO will always be TEO. It'll always be the Cools team.
Sponsored by Cools Flakes.
It'll always be sponsored by Cools Flakes. I don't know. I've found that Nola Flakes work a little bit better sometimes.
All right, I am here too, and I would love to make a comment of this that
wild random appeared.
Oh, wow. Speaking of TEO, we did have a shift. For anyone that did not know, Ghost Slayer has decided to step down due to personal family issues, and we totally get it. We love you, man. Thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you again season 3. But on the comment of we are versing TEO tomorrow, it's a new TEO. Their new guy that stepped in is Sentry, who I teamed up with in RLCS. I know him very well, and I'm not worried about him at all. I know his strengths. Wow. I know his strengths. I know his weaknesses, and I'm not worried about it.
You know him. You don't know his team chemistry with Boz and Cool.
I also know Cool, so I know what to expect from all of them.
But does he know D-Way?
Oh, do not.
No.
Do not. That is banned from this friggin' stream. That is banned.
Yeah. Congratulations, Nola. You killed the stream.
Yeah,
right. All right. Good night, everybody. That is great. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So do you guys have any other questions before we're done?
The one Dan guy comment on chat made me think of that.
I am random now.
I've got nothing else but GG to Mysticats and DD tonight. You both played really well. And Nolan, as always, good game.
Thank you.
Yeah, both those games were really exciting, and I mean, I think they did live up to our expectations of being like kind of intense games, like especially that first one with the shift in dynamic of Mysticats really turning that game around in game 1. So that was really fun to watch. Good games to Mysticats, good games to Ditto Dudes. I think, are you all both set in stone for the tournament?
Yes, we are in for sure. Because of that win, we are pretty much safe and secured about it. Honestly, DD just needs to lose a game to make it sound iffy, but SDG and TEO, basically TEO needs to beat Mysticats tomorrow night to even have a chance against Ditto Dudes, but I'm not worried about it.
All right.
So you say that now. It'll be one of those things at the end of the season where it goes back and it's like, what are the worst predictions were made this season?
Yeah.
Worst moments. Randomized calling the game the day before and then losing 10-0 the next night.
To me, what it really comes down to is more the fact that I honestly want TEO to lose, not because of it as a Mysticat, because that means TEO and SDG literally have their final game of the season, duking it out for the final slot of. So it just makes things more interesting, which is one of the reasons why I really want to beat TEO. It makes me want to beat it more because then my caster self goes, thank you, player randomize. Now caster randomize has more to talk about later. I'm kind of talking to myself, which is really freaking weird. I know.
You need to have like different like tints on your screen for like when you shift between those two personalities.
Yeah, either that or have the half hair. Yeah.
Like puts on, and takes it off.
Yeah, and I talk like this, and then I talk like this. Yeah, that would be very interesting. So, all right, well, sounds like we are ready to shift to the end of the stream.
Yes.
Nova, once again, congratulations to you and the rest of Mysticats for winning the game. It's kind of weird trying to beat a caster randomized now. Riley and Beard Runner, thank you very much for commentating this game. Riley, I hope you enjoyed commentating your first time, and I think I put you in good hands with Beard Runner here. So
Anytime.
yeah, Beard's one of my other favorite commentators. I always feel secured when I have Beard there because like I know it's gonna be good commentary no matter what if Beard's there. No offense to the rest of you guys, it's just like I personally really enjoy Beard's conversations and the way he casts, and I've actually told Beard the two of us should consider looking into other organizations to cast with them as well. I think it'd be a lot of fun. So
I think he'd be good at casting you professional Halo.
Yeah.
you know what he'd be better at? He would be better at casting the professional Pokemon match with Cool's playing. Did you know that Cool's used to be a competitive Pokemon player?
Cool's the competitive Pokemon player?
Yeah. He's worse than me.
I don't think Cool is here this evening. I don't think Cool is watching. I haven't seen him.
That's fine. I will clip this and I will send it to him.
So GG's tonight, everybody. Great showing. Thanks everyone on stream for joining us. Thanks for all the chat.
Yeah, and thank you for all the follows. Thank you for the subscriptions. I believe we actually had a resub today, which is awesome. Thank you for the bits. All that money really does help us out. We do appreciate it, folks. Thank you so much for all your support. And thank you for everyone here that works with me on the side. I can't do this without a team. So with you guys, it really does make this 1,000 times better. So with that being said, folks, if you are new to the channel, don't forget that follow button because we got another game tomorrow night at 11:30 Eastern PM, which will be Mysticats again versus the Exiled Ones. You don't want to miss this one, folks. Then Tuesday and Wednesday are the next two games. Tuesday will be OTC versus TRP at 11:30 p.m. Eastern. And then Wednesday will be 11 p.m. Eastern, Need Boost versus Ocean's Rage, which is going to be a good game because that is number 1 versus number 2 in Group B. So, yeah, this could be the chance for Ocean's Rage to finally come back and kind of put Need Boost in their back in the back seat. So this should be quite interesting. Yeah. I'm excited for that. And we have one more game that we're waiting to be scheduled. And I believe it's a Group A game. It should be a Group A game because I just said the Group 2. Which will be, once I can get, I'm working with the new website, so I'm trying to get with SDG versus Ditto Dudes. Those two need to still schedule. So hopefully they will schedule very soon and we'll find out when their games are. And either way, no matter what, you can always check it out by typing !bracket in the chat, and that way you will see all the games. You will know when they're scheduled, because the nice thing about this new website I'm using, it allows me to put the actual scheduled match in it so you can actually see when the games will be going live. So thank you very much for joining us tonight, folks. I cannot wait for tomorrow night because Mysticats gets to play again. I feel like it's been like centuries since we played. So thank you very much, folks, for joining us tonight. Don't forget to hit that follow button so you can get more action in Rocket League here in Sinfonian series. I'm randomized. Riley's to my right. Beard is under me. Nova's to the bottom right. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us tonight, and have a great night. We'll see you at the next stream.
Good night.